Hey guys, it's BiggehSmallz again, and today I'm going to go ahead and show you some stuff that I learned about Act 3 while doing single segment speedruns. Now, I've already uploaded videos for optimizing Act 1 and 2, so check those out if you haven't already. Okay, let's do this. This is how BiggehSmallz speedruns MGS4. Act 3. We'll of course start things right here. First thing we're going to do is pause and go to the weapons menu. Now we're going to put the smoke grenade in this slot, then put the XM25 in this one. Then we're going to press the square button to remove the M4 from its slot. The reason being that during the bike chase, we're going to forcibly have a weapon replace one of these slots. That weapon being the Scorpion VZ83. Now, everything you see here are things you will need for the bike chase, and if your slots are full, one of those things will be replaced. So, you're going to have to pause and fix it, taking up even more time. However, if a slot is empty, the VZ83 will be placed in that empty slot, meaning you won't have to waste time pausing. So, again, removing the M4 and leaving one slot empty ensures that you will spend less time menuing. Moving on, we'll go to the items menu and put the syringe here. Then we'll put on the Laughing Beauty face camo. Then we'll go to the shop and buy the Barrett M82. By the way, you'll need this many points to unlock the XM25 and buy the M82. If you get here and still have a chance to get Big Boss rank, you'll have at least 160,000. But if not, well...
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Now let's move on and meet our friend from the Resistance. We'll start off by scaring this guy with a gunshot to the floor. As you see, he's running away because he's pretty nervous right now. If you're lucky, he'll run in the direction you're seeing right now. There's a real RNG thing here. But that's the best spot that he can run to for you. By the way, shout out to Sir Schmuckle and Jaguar King. Didn't know this was a thing until recently. So, now we're just gonna go ahead and move on. Wait a minute. There's a lot to unpack about this area we're in right now before we go. There's something you guys need to know about the Resistance guy. Now, what you guys already know is that if he sees a downed PMC, he'll stop to look at him. By the way, each time he does this, it takes about 10 seconds for him to get moving again. When he does, there's this weird thing that happens. It's as if there's this clock that turns on in his programming. Now, what this clock does is make him ignore downed enemies for a certain amount of time after he sees them. I'll show you what that looks like and how you can take advantage of it. So, you see, the first time that he sees downed enemies, he always stops to look at them. That right there turns the clock on. Now we're just gonna go ahead and fast forward a little bit. So, as you see, he sees the downed enemies in front of the park and he just walks right past them. That means that the clock is still running. Let's move on to the first group of enemies inside the park. As you see, I took them out, he sees them and stops again, right? That's because the clock ran out. Let's go ahead and continue on. Let's look at the other enemies inside the park. Oh, wait. What is this guy doing? What's up with him? Oh, okay. I mean, you know what they say.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, wait a minute. What the fuck is this guy's problem? He's just standing there, all up on this guy while he's trying to take a piss? I mean, that is a real violation of personal space. You're so weird. Like, I wish you would do that to me. I'd beat the shit out of you, man. Anyway, as you see here, he's gonna notice those guys there and he's gonna stop. By the way, those guys, no matter what happens, the clock is going to run out when he gets here. We're going to do something different with this first pair of guys. I'm going to take them out, and then I'm going to drag both of them behind this car. Then we're going to wait for the resistance guy to show up, and then we'll see what happens. So he's approaching, and yeah, he walks past them. He doesn't see them, so he can't stop to look at them. But what does that mean for the guys in front of the park entrance? Well, we're going to go ahead and take a look. So yeah, right there, he stops to look at them. Again, that means that the clock that we talked about, it's going to start up again. But what does this mean for the guys that are inside the park? That first pair of guys. Well, let's take a look. Alright, you see? Those guys there, he just walks past them. Now, we already know what's going to happen with the second pair of guys in the park, so we'll just go ahead and worry about that later. So, as you can see here, I left that first group of guys out in the open, so he's going to look at them starting the clock. And then he's going to walk past the second pair of guys. But what about this pair of guys in the park? Can we move them somewhere so that we could get him out of the way and he'll just walk right past them? As a matter of fact, there is. Watch. As you see, I'm just going to drag them both here. It's really simple. You see, he didn't see them, so he's just going to keep walking. One more thing before we move on. I established in the previous video that there are two guys that you could hold up that'll drop 40mm stun grenades if you pat them down. See, that was the first guy. Gonna go ahead and shoot him so he doesn't wake up. Now we're gonna look for the second guy. There he is. So I'm gonna hold him up, pat him down. There we go. Okay. I'll shoot him so he doesn't wake up. So, this is everything that we know so far.
Now comes the $64,000 question.
What is the best way to put all this together so that we can get through this area in the quickest way possible? Well, I'd be happy to show you guys how I did this area. Now, this is probably the fastest way to do it, so without further ado, let's get going. So, I'll start off by shooting right here, and then that's going to scare him off, getting him to run. Now, hopefully, I get the right RNG, and he's going to run to the right. Alright, cool. Now, let's go ahead and skip forward. Next thing I'm going to do is take out these guys right there. I'm going to put them to sleep. I'm just going to wait. By the way, you got to remember this. To get the resistance guy to move, you got to be in his vicinity. You can't get too far ahead. So, while waiting here, I'm going to go ahead and listen for the sound cue. Then I'm going to start moving again. Let's skip ahead some more. I'll take this guy out. Then I'll run up to the next guy and pat him down. The resistance guy will be too preoccupied with that first pair of guys, so you should have enough time to do this. The next thing we're going to do, take him out. Then we're going to hold up and pat down this guy right here. You'll have enough time. Then we're going to go ahead and drag them to that spot. we gotta do is wait. On to the next one. I'll shoot these guys, then I'm just gonna wait. Then I'll go ahead and run up to them. Then I'll go ahead and drag them out of sight. This is where I like to put them. So, that's where I like to drag both of them. Let's skip ahead. Then I'll take this guy out to grab the attention of the guy next to him. Then I'll hold this guy up right here and pat him down. What you got for me? Oh, how nice of you. Oh, and by the way, guys, just so you know, once I switch to the V-Rings, I never switch back to anything else for the rest of the game. That's the shotgun ammo that I'm going to use from that point on. So yeah, this is how I do the first section of Act 3. Now, there's really nothing all that groundbreaking in Part 2, so we're just going to go ahead and skip that. And then we're going to go on to the third and final section. See you guys there. Alright guys, this is part 3. So, what we're going to do is shoot and we're going to try to scare him off again. We'll wait for the second whistle. Now, his reaction is RNG. What you want him to do is, when he gets to the corner right there, he's going to run to the left. You see right there. And if you do that, that's the best way that this can possibly go. He could also run to the right, which is definitely something that you don't want. By the way, I gotta give credit to Schmuckle for this discovery. This one's really useful, man. Like I said earlier, what happens here is completely RNG. It is completely out of your control. And all I'm gonna say is this. You better hope and pray that he runs to the left. If he runs to the right, that's a 30-second time loss. So, just hope for the best. So we'll go ahead and skip to the end, and I'll show you how I set up my weapons and items for what's coming up. So I'll go ahead and switch the signal interceptor to the syringe. Then I'll put the stun grenade in the C weapon slot. Alright guys, we finally made it to the church. Oh wait, I gotta pay my respects real quick. You know it being a house of the Lord and all.
Exorcisite mundi spiritus in nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
Alright, cool. Alright, so here we are at the bike chase. What I'm going to show you right now is what my weapon slots look like. So what I want you guys to do is just pay attention to the order. There you go. So as some of you single segment runners know, at the beginning of Bike Chase 2, you want to throw a stun grenade to take out a few of the guys so you don't take too much damage. After you're done with that, whenever you're ready, you can swap the stun grenade to the XM25, just like that right there. So now we're going to enter the third part. Now what I'm going to do for you guys is just go ahead and play this, and you're going to see the full thing uninterrupted. I'm not going to stop the video, I'm just going to play it the whole way through. But what I'll say is this. Try to imagine what this would be like if it were directed by Michael Bay. Just, you know, keep that in mind. Alright, let's go ahead and play it.
スネーク、おとりの車両隊が全滅したようだ。敵は君たちに対する攻撃に全力を傾けている。なんとかしないけど、いいね。
So I'll switch out the XM25 for the smoke grenade right here. That's a really lucky shot if I've ever seen one.
よし、いいぞスネーク。うまいぞ。
前お願い。さすが私の息子ね。
As you saw there, I used auto aim to take out the one on the left.
Ouch!
That was a hell of a lot of fun, but now it's time to finish the job. Let's deal with Raven. Remember I told you guys at the beginning that the VZ83 would be placed in that empty slot, right? That's why I removed the M4 from that slot back then. And if you notice, the M4 came back and it actually replaced the XM25, which, by the way, is one of the weapons we no longer need at this point. Isn't that lucky? Anyway, we're going to replace the VZ83 with the M82. Anyway, now we wait. I'm going to use sound cues, and that'll let me know when to shoot. Alright, she's pretty much done here. Bye, Raven. Nice knowing you. Alright, guys. That about wraps up Act 3. Now you guys have some idea of what's possible here. By the way, I used a lot of save files here, and that time you see in front of you, that's around what you can get if you optimized everything up to this point to the best of your ability. Now that we're done with this, I'll work on a video for Act 4 and upload it very soon. With that said, this is BiggehSmallz MGS signing off. Have a good one, guys.
Nice work.